This is Clavicular.
Real name on camera, but it takes so long to... I think I'm gonna start introducing myself as Clav.
Yeah, if he looked familiar to you, it's because he is. He has been making waves in the streaming world recently for his controversial look-maxing ideas.
I started that when I was 16 for a little bit more vertical growth. And
Crazy suggestions.
plenty of different compounds like, Masteron for increasing dick size was another one.
And other confessions that he probably shouldn't have admitted to the internet.
So yeah, I was essentially doing math for hollow cheeks, guys. I just
Well, that's what a quick rise to fame gets you, right? But don't mistake it, because Clavicular didn't just get famous overnight. One thing was for sure though, and it's the fact that the internet wasn't ready for this dude.
There's no such thing as there's only looking good and looking bad. Nobody gives a fuck how you...
This is the rise of Clavicular, and why he's currently one of the most controversial creators out there. Now, if you're just coming across this dude Clav for the first time, the first thing you need to know is that he gives the most controversial tips.
Okay, so using a microbrow pencil to fill in any gaps in growth is absolutely good.
And before you go berserk, this is just the tip of the Titanic-sized iceberg. Here he is again, throwing shade at Michael B. Jordan's appearance.
4 out of 10, maybe 3.5. Super facially challenged, very aesthetically disfortunate.
Yeah, the objectively good-looking everybody's crush Michael B. Jordan. And if that's not enough, here's our guy going off about why girls should be called ugly.
I don't give a fuck. That's how people should talk to these ugly girls who are just, like...
I mean, at this point, you gotta be wondering, who the hell is this guy to even think his opinion matters, right? Well, Clav is actually kind of a fast-rising name in the streaming world, and he's even got a massive following apparently. Hundreds of thousands across his streaming and social media channels, to be vague and precise. But while Mr. Good Looks here may be TikTok famous today, he wasn't always so. And here's what eventually blew him up. Looksmaxing. Now, if you're wondering what the hell looksmaxing is, well, it's that corner of the internet that's obsessed with maximizing physical appearance via natural improvements and artificial alteration.
Everything is about numbers, right, and measurements. So that could be the measurement of your eyes based on, the width of your skin.
And our friend here has been the face of it for the past year. So, what do you get when a kid obsessed with his looks decides to take matters into his own hands at a very young age? Yep, you get this guy here, Clavicular. According to the man himself, he started actively trying to alter his looks at the very young age of 14.
I started with 300 milligrams of testosterone, and I did that for a while, up until I was 16.
Now that's just insane. But wait till you hear the extreme measures he's been deploying. Before we get to that though, you gotta be wondering what his motivations were, and more importantly, where were his parents in all of this, right? Well, to their credit, they didn't really approve. Well, initially.
Parents think I'm a idiot. They want nothing to do with me, I'll tell you the truth. At first they were like, this...
But they probably contributed to Clavicular's choices. You see, both his parents were bodybuilders, and you gotta admit that his earliest motivations would probably be to follow in their steps. But even from a young age, Braden Peters, as he was originally called, has been obsessed with results, even admitting that he found the concept of hard work to be useless.
Work at all? No, absolutely not. I value efficient work, I value smart work.
So yeah, Clav decided to take the artificial way out, altering his appearance by injecting himself with testosterone, facial fillers, peptides, and freaking steroids. But here's the craziest part. He started it all at the young age of 14.
I thought, why would I work out as a natural, take years to make the progress that I can make in months? It didn't make sense to me.
This is an absolute case of the more you hear, the more you want to rip your ears out. But to his credit, he does kinda look better now than he used to. However, the controversies surrounding this dude have only just peaked in the last year, and now it just seems like the internet cannot get enough of him. Or maybe it's the other way around. So if you dare, come along and take a look at some of his most controversial moments.
Bro, he has no chill. He simply can't take the L. It's just come to my attention that he's...
Well, first of all, the internet loves a good problematic topic, and that's what Clavicular has been offering. Of course, his extreme approach to looksmaxing is obviously the basis of this discussion. For some, there's just no moral justification for the methods he's so publicly proclaimed.
Looksmaxing, where these assholes try to improve their looks through dangerous ways.
Clav himself has even admitted to the fact that his methods are dangerous and could be misleading. But he's also not showing any signs of stopping. And it's as he often says.
Extraordinary measures, right? And the extraordinary times are just how hypergamous women are nowadays.
Beyond the backlash for his extreme approach to looksmaxing, the streamer has also made a few headlines for the brutal way he rates other people's appearances. To their faces.
Face is way too long. Obviously, she's got the jowls coming in, horrible nasolabial folds.
Remember that time he rated Michael B. Jordan a 3.5 and sparked another debate on the internet?
He's far below average. I would say that he's about 4 out of 10, maybe 3 points.
Well, turns out that wasn't his first or only rodeo. Turns out bro has been on a rating spree in the past year, especially critiquing ladies and their appearances.
I'm gonna give you a 4.5.
Okay.
I would push you up to.
At this point, it's almost like he only gets off on calling people ugly.
Honestly, there's not a single good thing about her face. So her alar base, the width of her nose.
But if that wasn't controversial enough, he then pulled the holy grail of controversies when he recorded himself injecting his underage girlfriend with facial fillers.
Dude, I can already see clips. Clav injects meth on a...
Okay, Clav. Yeah, sure, it's all good. I'm sorry, but that's all shades of wrong right there. And the confidence to air it live on stream? That's just something else. Oh, and of course, that one generated a trail of backlash with fans calling it illegal, and even calling him a psychopath. But he obviously doesn't care, because in Clav's world, looks are everything. Dude even claimed that looks are important in martial arts.
Deep set eyes, like the brow ridge, just the way your orbitals are positioned are all things that are going to allow you to,
But that one didn't hit as hard, because that speech came right after he got his ass handed to him in a jiu-jitsu exhibition.
I told you some people are gonna be on your ass, Clav.
The bottom line is that wherever you see Clavicular, watch out, because controversy is never too far away. But then you gotta cut the man some slack sometimes, since he has managed to ride this negative wave to the top and is enjoying his time in the spotlight.
Like different, but I feel like we think alike, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
He's even managed to pull some serious collabs in the past year. Top of the list, of course, is the much talked about stream with Neon when Clav offered to give him a makeover, claiming it would improve his looks to help him pick up chicks.
Trust you fully. All right. So we're gonna do a transformation chat, and then after that, we're gonna go and test out if it works. All right, where are we going? I'm following you.
The duo clicked, and in the end, the collab went viral. Clavicular has also been featured on streams with Aiden Ross.
At a super physiological level of test, like earlier in your life. Like I want to feel better, like now. I don't want to wait until I'm fucking 30.
Nick Fuentes.
Well, if I'm looksmaxing, what am I gonna do? What's my first move?
Sneeko.
Pornography.
Welcome to streaming.
Yeah, literally. I mean, it's like I'm gonna have to get used to it. Maybe I'm.
And a whole lot of other creators in the past year. And it's all contributed to what has been one of the biggest blow-ups of 2025. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to the viewers. And while he's got a good number of fans looking up to him, he's attracted a lot of criticism too, and for obvious reasons.
Viral looksmaxer known as Clavicular. Is everything wrong?
Now you gotta wonder why a lot of people still present themselves to be rated by Clav, even when they know he's just gonna rip into their looks, right? Well, that's just the concept of fanning for you. And it just so happens that Cute Face here has a fair number of loyal followers.
Auntie gonna give you a 9.
To these folks, he's got authenticity, humor, and that relatability that makes them want to follow him more. On the other hand, though, the critics just keep coming.
This new kid on the block, he calls himself Clavicular, and I'm thinking.
And coming,
19. When he's 50, if he makes it to 50, he's going to look back on this and say,
and coming.
This 41-year-old man roll out of bed, go like...
They've called his content offensive, inappropriate, and attention-seeking. And you don't even gotta look too hard to see that there's some truth in that. But who doesn't like a little bit of attention, right? In fact, he's thrived off of it so far, and it's almost impossible to picture him stopping anytime soon.
Taking steroids?
No, absolutely not. I think, you know, how much?
So that begs the question, is Clavicular really here to stay? Or is his fame or possibly life gonna be short-lived? Well, firstly, for a person who is almost the face of an entire niche right now, there's just no getting rid of Clav just yet. And to call a spade by its given name, this dude seems to be good at what he's doing so far, no matter how disapproving it sounds.
You want to be 99th percentile at all aspects of life.
Absolutely.
Except maybe longevity.
Moreover, it seems the looksmaxing content is already perforating the web and creating more believers with each video put out there. Therefore, it's easy to say that Clavicular is here to stay, especially since he does appear quite smart.
Be able to make observations in society that are important enough for you to decide to take this course of action.
But as for what comes next for him, he's on the list for leg lengthening surgery, and well, he did ask Santa this year for a double jaw surgery.
Like I want to send, you know, maybe double jaw surgery, just kind of.
But apart from that, we just gotta cross our fingers and watch it all unfold. But hey, if you thought that was controversial, wait till you see what happens when Jack Doherty finally went too far. Or you can do what's not controversial and hit the subscribe button to keep up with all this drama.